Hey folks, welcome back to Timberborn and our LEAFCOATS Let's Play. And this is probably going to be the last episode, assuming I can get done most of the stuff that I want to do to call this series done. So the first thing we're going to start on is trying to improve our power. This is potentially going to be a little bit janky. Hey, jank's not a bad thing. So I think the first thing we can do to try and improve things is maybe stick a top on this guy. That'll give us quite a bit more power generation, which will help. And I think the easy way to do that is just to flatten the top of this and throw it on the top. So let's do that. I was going to go grab this and press B to duplicate it, but we aren't in that version of the game. Why does it not want to let? I guess because there's stuff there, maybe. So let's go a bit higher. Let's grab. No, because we need a ladder probably. It feels like ages since I've played this save, to be completely on it. There we go, and then maybe we can put that on there. No, we still can't put that on there. Okay, can we put that on there? We can, and then maybe we can put that on there. Yeah, and that'll give us another 500 HP in power generation. We've got some storages to fill up. Let's do another gear store, and then this. Which one do we want? Which we not have storage? We do have storage for limbs. We just don't have any limbs. That's not fine, but you know, let's do chestnuts. I know it's not a good place to put them, but that gives us more power generation. We then need to be able to store the power, and what I'm going to do there, I want to move the chargers. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to put a couple of chargers there. I actually want to move one charger. I want to remove your. I'm going to come in here, grab that so that we can get a power connection going up. Let's put you there. Let's put you. We can get path coming out of there. You there. Delete all of that. That'll be good. And get that done. Right, that's most of that sorted. I'm on a little bit of a time limit today, but I might cut out the odd bit while we get stuff done. They're also working on getting that built. I'm really hoping that that's going to help with our power supply, at least. It might not be enough. Yeah, how are we doing for beavers? Actually, we have got enough to run these, which seems like a really bad idea, but you know. I then want to, I wonder if we just put some gravity batteries there. Let's come across here. Let's rip some more trees out. Get the right button. Get the right button. There we go. I was really tempted, but I think it would really anger some people to just stick one of these on the ground because it's 500 HP. Because otherwise it's a lot of these little dudes. You know, it's like 3 of these. Actually, 3 of those. So that's for 60 logs and 60 planks. Yeah. Versus 1 of these, which seems way more efficient. But the first thing we're going to do is come in here and do a bunch of remove terrain. So that's 10. So that's 5 gravity batteries. That's 20. And then we're going to do more remove terrain. And so this is a bit like placing dynamite, obviously, but without the dynamite. We are instead shoveling out the dirt, except we don't get dirt, because to do that you have to do the other one. And I'm not really interested in getting the dirt. Just want to make it so that we can store a bunch of power, because we do generate quite a lot of power during the good times. Just during bad time, during droughts, that we have a more significant problem. So you know what I'm thinking? You don't, do you? No, no, you don't. Let's come here. I am going to put one of these windmills in, just for the extra power generation that it's going to give. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I think we should have... They might have got this done by the time we get them in, but shovels and extract. Prioritize. Prioritize. So that's that. Whilst they're doing that, we need to make some space on the main island. And to do that, we're going to get rid of this guy. We're going to mark a bunch of trees for cutting. And somewhere we're going to bring in a couple of bot lumberjacks, just to start the process of clearing out the main island to boost the well-being, because we need to do that rather a lot. There's a lot of stuff that I've been completely ignoring. We can also come in and do that to have them not planting stuff. We've got pretty big supplies of everything, so yeah, I think we'll be okay. We got another... Yeah. You can go. Have we got... You don't even know. Yeah, we've got another big pine jobby over here, so that's okay. Awesome. Right. That's happening. That's happening. We come here. Yeah. Those in. We're going to do that. Probably need to move you over to here. Looks like we need some more pathage over that way and that way. Cool. If we're going to build these, we also need planks, gears, and metal. So let's... Gears are going to go in one of those. So let's start stockpiling those over here. Planks, gears, and metal. Can reach you. Awesome. Yeah. I can't think of a better way to solve the power situation than to just bury one of these big old windmills. I mean, even now, we're just over. So, we do need, and that one's not really doing much, is it? No, we'll get rid of you. But we will put in you. Probably want to turn the corner and build them out this way. Right. Power, grav batteries. Where are you? You. 5, 6, 7. Let them continue clearing that out. Suddenly won't you let me? So I can place it there. Do we need more space around it? Yes, maybe we do. Okay. Let's remove all of that as well. But when they start building these, they look a bit weird because they look like the edited model of the other one. But once they're in, they're fine. And these hold quite a lot of power, which is good. It's a 5x5. That's why it won't go in until that's removed. There we go. It's good. And power. There. Awesome. So just you to go. You. Let's make sure that you're prioritized. I think it's pretty much done. I just need to finish ripping it out. Awesome. So they can go. That's in. So that's generating power. We just can't use it. I'm going to go in here. Power. I have the powered levy. What I was thinking of doing is actually coming in here, doing powered levy. Like that. And then there. Delete those. There. Delete that. That. And just kind of start hiding that again. But yeah, that's then connected up to that. Those are all built actually, so we can get rid of those. We can get rid of this. We can hook this in. You've got yourself stuck because you're a dummy. Let's pause you and give you a ladder to get out, I guess. We also need to give you some stairs so they can get to you. Awesome. And that now gives us a really good battery supply to hopefully help get through the bad times. And obviously, maybe not obviously, we won't see this most of the time anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. Come on, mister. Out you come. Come on, you're no longer stuck. You have an ladder. If that doesn't get you out, right, then you just are done, sir. You shall perish. You shall perish. I guess I could. We could try letting you out through there. And then I've got to rebuild that, which is kind of annoying. But anyway. Come on, come build that. We need to reconnect everything now. Stupid beavers. Pause that. How's the island looking? Are we starting to clear any land? We are. What have we got up here? That's housing. How are we looking for power? Because some of the well-being things I think need power. So we've got the mud pits, which just use a little bit of dirt. So I think what we'll do is we'll put one there, one there. That'll be good. Start getting those built. That's in. Let's rebuild that. And yes, if you're not used to Timberborn, it doesn't matter if windmills are buried underground. They still work. If we had automation installed, I would have these set up so they paused during everything but a drought, but we don't. So we could completely bury this, but I'm going to leave it like that. That's fine. Get rid of that. And I'll get rid of some of that path. But yeah, we now have a power grid. Yeah, that is connected. Cool. We have a power grid that's generating a hecton more power and can store a huge amount of power, which is great. So the focus now is going to be on, we only have 19 well-being, which is quite frankly embarrassing. Do we have, and we do have dandelions over here, so I think we're going to come over and rip these guys out and see if we can get some wet. But so maybe can we put some swimming pools in here? We also have loads of grapes going on over in the food production area, so I think I'm going to rip those out as well. Let's straighten this out, and then wet for well-being wise, we have the swimming pool, so we do need to make this quite a bit bigger actually. So let's do that. And then we're going to come in and rip out these guys as well. Let's get rid of those. If we can get a couple of swimming pools in here. That's not going to do all. We've got quite a lot of beavers, but you know. So I've been playing on the new map, Spillage, as part that came is it's in update 1.0. And I've got a really small colony on there, but with the power of the automation mod, you can actually achieve quite a lot with not a very big population, because once you've got, you know, a full stock of some things, you can then turn off buildings, and so you can be way more efficient, which I really like. I think I've got like 50 or 60 beavers and similar number of bots, and I'm almost done with, well, yeah, I'm almost done with that save. Just pressed B to copy that, and that's not going to work. There we go. Swimming pools sitting above the toxic sludge, but you know, that's okay. It would be interesting actually to have a drought now we've built this to see if it helps. What else have we got well-being wise? Detailers. We could put some detailers just here. That would be a nice spot for those. We'll do a mixture. Go. We do need extract. We got extra. I can't see. There's so many. There is a small water tank somewhere there. You are going to become extract. So it's close-ish. I think these use extract. Yeah, they do. They use extract. So those will get filled up and the beavers will be getting stamped. So that fermented fruit, we're still not making much. That's food processors. Fancy apple. Nope, that's going to be in a fermenter, isn't it? Fermenter. We're not making fermented fruit because we don't have a fermenter set to ferment it. I'm going to throw one in over here. On this little power abomination. We'll do fermented fruit. What ingredients does that need? Grapes and mangroves by the looks of it. So storage, small storage. I guess we weren't doing that because we were constantly short of mangroves. Let's do one more. I keep wanting to... I've been playing so much of Update 1 that I keep wanting to just hit B to copy buildings. Fermented fruit supply. And then we'll come over here and we'll find... somewhere we can put the fermented fruit. We've got another grape one there. We've got quite a lot. Oh, it's berries, not grapes. Okay. Do I need to just put in a little storage? I'm just going to do that. Yeah, it's a little bit messy, but you know. Fermented fruit. Obtain. No. Hopefully that'll do that. Jog up to 24 well-being. Wow. So that should be all of the food sorted. Contemplation spots. Yeah, we haven't built any of those yet. So there are two. One that can go on the branches, which we don't have many of yet. So let's stick a few. I'm just going to use them for contemplation spots. So that doesn't matter quite so much that they're short and not connected to anything. Right. Observation terrace. We could do with some more of those as well. So let's unlock the longest. There we go. Yes, please. And there. Observation terrace. Two more of those. That'll help with that. So we've got contemplation spots now. Don't have have many of the gardens. What's the plaza? Where's that? Tunnel, carousel, detailer, mud pit, plaza. The plaza. Well, there's your plaza, sir. There we go. As we get more space cleared, we'll get more of those in. I don't know whether to just start ripping stuff off of the island so we can get those built. You are only running at 50% productivity. Work harder. 25 well-being. We're probably going to need more than one plaza. Does the plaza? Doesn't need to be on ground. So it's a 5 by, wasn't it? What we could do is keep wanting to duplicate stuff. There. Awesome. And then we got in decoration. Let's grab that guy, and that'll hit both of those. And the lantern there, that'll help. So we should be getting decent plaza, decent of those. We don't have the clock unlocked yet. Okay, we should put the clock somewhere near the accommodation. Which, does it matter if the clock is underwater? There's a good question. Not really a good question, but you know, it's a question. There's another clock. See how that does us for the clock bonus. Do we not have any of the monuments? Oh, the monuments go on. Oh, you don't have to go on top of things. Okay, cool. You could go if you're an inventor. We probably don't need you anymore. So you could go there. You'd get quite a lot of them. Tribute to ingenuity. You do need to go on top of something, and you need 600 HP. Okay. That could be a challenge. If I delete you, can you fit on top of there? No. Okay. But we do need now more housing, which we can put over. Yeah. That's fine. Do we need those zip lines anymore? We do not particularly. What we could do is delete you. Delete you. You're a builder's hut. Delete you. Tribute to ingenuity. That's going to hit a huge amount of the colony. You're still too tall. Okay. Going to need to build more housing, but that's okay. Put you there. Yes. Housing. Put you there. I cannot build you there because you're right next to it and you're a 5 by 5. That makes sense. That's not going to have any power, is it? Where do we have power there? So we could Tunnel. There. We do not need these trees anymore. We get power out of there and then try and get it into this guy. And I'm just hoping we have enough spare power. $33 well-being. It's pretty good. Monuments. Oh, we've got the Fountain of Joy as well. Geez, that's going to be actually not as difficult as it would seem to get up and running, because we could come over here. It's 5 by 5, I think, isn't it? Let's start pulling out some of these mangroves, because we've got big mangrove plantation elsewhere now. And I think we put the Fountain of Joy here. That's going to cover a big chunk of the island, which means it'll get most of the population. That's almost built. So if we come in here, right, again, automation would be really handy at this point, because you could tell it to not block builders. What we're going to do is do that, and we're going to sit and watch it, you know, enthralling, folks, and prioritize it. And then we need to try and get the power in, which is going to be tricky because the entrance is at the front. So, yeah, that could be fun. That could be fun. Apologies if this episode feels rushed and some of this is a bit janky. Kind of excited to move on to the new series, and kind of short of time. There's been a bit of a gap in content because I was away in the middle of the week doing Farm Sim community stuff, and I'm also busy most of this weekend, so I wanted to try and have and video. And it seemed sensible to try and finish this series, so that then when I get flowing again, we are in the new series. We get both of those done. We won't have the carousel or the wind tunnel yet. I have most stuff. It's cool. Oh, I see. This mod is really cool. This map is kind of tricky for it because there's not a lot of land. There's been an interesting combination. But actually, I've been thinking about this game a little bit over, let's say, the weekend, because going away to game felt like a weekend, or to talk with people about gaming felt like a weekend. And so there was a Q&A session as part of that, and people were asking about for Farm Sim things they would like to see. And one of the themes was about making that game harder. And There is a Timberborn related point to this. If you're wondering why he's blathering on about the farming game in a Timberborn video, bear with me, and then let me think for a second while I try and work out how I'm going to connect power into this, because I think I'm going to have to come underneath and then in the back end. Ooh, misses. I know. If you don't like juvenile jokes, you're possibly in the wrong place. Anyway, let me just sort this and then we'll go back to that point, because it is something I like about this game. Okay, so we can't run power that way. So we're going to have to come this way. Okay, right, I can see again now. And actually, I guess we could then come up and in the side rather than in the back. Yeah, and I'm hoping that that will connect to both of those. Awesome. Cool. So we're probably going to need some platforms to be able to build that. And we'll see how that looks. So yeah, the point I was trying to get to is the thing that I like about this game is I have had, on occasions, failures. Because maps and combinations of difficulty things can be really hard. Or, you know, the game can give me nice mental challenges and I have to work out how to do things. Or this kind of stuff, for example. I have to think when I'm playing this game, and I like that. It's not guaranteed that when I start, particularly if you start on a hard difficulty, that you're just going to play through the game and succeed. And Farm Sim, pretty much, I don't think I've ever had a farm fail. It's been a while, but I have had Timberborn saves where I've had colony fails. Certainly early on, and colony wipes, and I leave them in the videos. I do leave them in. Thousand Islands was, I think, one of the last ones that I remember. There may have been others, so yeah. And this save is at a point where we're not going to fail. We've got a stable water supply. We've got stable food supply. The bowl is now drought resistant because we're not playing on an incredibly difficult game mode. We've probably got power sorted now with this, and if we didn't, I could just add a few more windmills. Bad water's sorted. The only thing I haven't really sorted, I guess, is this, and I could probably. Don't get me wrong, this was a challenging map to master at the start, with all of the little pockets of water that it creates and stuff, and it was all good fun. I really enjoyed playing this map. If you haven't played it, I recommend it. It's a fun challenge to get your head around. Cell need to be on land. 400 HP doesn't need to be on land. It gives the roof by... Oh, it's one of the ones that needs to be on top of a tree. Okay. Oh wow, we've drained all of our power over here. Okay, that's not good. Let's put more windmills in so that when we have wind, it will recharge our gravity batteries. Guess what we could do is... That might work. Bear with me a moment, folks, while I think. Tree. And tide coming. Okay. Right. There. I think what we could maybe do is go carousel. Yes, please. Large windmill. And then join the two. And it might make sense to actually put some gravity batteries, but you know, we're kind of winging it at this point. So you can be for fermented fruit and you can be for fermented fruit. And you will be an supply and you will be an supply also. And because that's on the zipline network, it's not actually that far from the district center, so that'll be good. We could do with more power or more power storage, power generation over here. Yeah. Blow, wind, blow. I guess what we could do is put in a couple of those because they generate a decent, and that's the equivalent of one of the large top ones. So now I've done that, I can't quite. Can I go there? Can I then go there? No, but that's giving us solid. That's another 1,000 power if they're all blowing, so that's pretty good. Then just wondering if do we have the space? Now what might be more sensible is to do that and then have those, because that's quite a drop, so that'll store quite a lot of power. So that gives us everything but the wind tunnel. The wind tunnel is the standard wind tunnel, which I'm going to do a slight cop out. Could put it over here. Bit there. No. If I delete that bit of path, it fits there, and the trees are on the network, zipline network, so I think we do that. These are, they're a reasonable way, but not an awfully long way. Now, that's probably not going to give us maximum well-being, but it'll give us some. So it'll give us some solid well-being. And that means the only thing we haven't built is the showers. Now, it's not a JC the Beard playthrough, so we don't have to have them, you know. The single medical beds we don't need because we've got the triple ones. Decoration wise, the wind gauge. Now, we could put some of those in. Maybe. I wish this had some sort of effect, you know, if you're running wind turbines, if it improved their effectiveness, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, something like that. That's probably better. We're at least generating most of the power we need during the day. And we're storing 130,000 HP, which is quite nice. And we could probably increase that. I was going to hit B again. Urgh. Put that there. It's going to reach out most of the way, and that'll give us even more stored power. So that when some of this stuff isn't working, when the beavers sleep, we are good. And we could go down to like a 14-hour working day as well. Yeah. Why does that not have power? Because I managed to do it in such a way that I missed all of the potential power connections. That's quite impressive, isn't it? I think we're going to get this built. Is there a way I can place it and have power connection? And has power? I'm not sure, actually. It literally sits right between all of the options for power connection. Alternative is we put it up here. That's mega annoying. Or over here. That'll work. He says super confidently. Come build that. Please. That's quite a change in what we're 16, 17 well-being at the start of the video. Yeah, it's not perfect, but better than it was. It's better than it was. Might look kind of ugly as well, but yeah, no. Yeah, no. I can't zoom out far enough. I don't think we have in this version the infinite zoom. No. But we do now have these guys. Nothing to do. Okay, you. I think the last thing we actually need to do is you. Where's the entrance? There or there? That lines up. Just do that. Question mark. I'm not sure if that connected or not. It did. Yes. Awesome. We give them extract into treated planks. Extract and treated planks. Okay. Planks obtain, and then we want scrap metal supply. And because of the point we're at, I'm going to do that. that. Awesome. That's built. Lovely job. You thought I'd forgotten that we needed a mine, didn't you? If I go into dev mode, can I get a free zoom cam? I think I just have to change. Go free mode. Yeah, there we go. That's looking pretty cool, isn't it? I think. Let's just blast through this little jobby. That will be that, I think. 59 well-being. Sorry, the lag is horrendous there. We can't quite run at 4 times speed, even zoomed in. They just need to get that built. And we will be in a good place. Right, that's all built. And we'll switch it to bots. Because we've got the spare bottage. And it'll probably be very injury prone. So probably we don't need 10 in there, but you know, we'll put 10 in for now. We do have a few charging stations there, which is good. Could I do more on here? Yes. Could I optimize this more? Yes. Am I going to? No. Because we're here just peeling carrots, folks. And if you don't know that saying, basically, it doesn't all have to be perfect. You know, I know for some people this stuff does have to be perfect. It doesn't. It's functioning. It's doing a job. So we've got a pretty nice colony here that's got good food supply, good water supply. The logs are reasonably stable now. We've got plenty of the components that we need to make logs. Yeah. Our well-being is now up at 57, which is way better. So most of the first block is maxed out. Not quite on the wet fur. Food is all good. Social life, not quite, but they're not the highest bonuses in the world. Aesthetics, not too bad or pretty good. And fun, pretty good. So, yeah, I'm quite happy. We could do more for the power over here. We're just about positive on power during the day. I'm really intrigued to see where the LEAFCOATS goes. I don't know if Bobbing About is doing much more development with this. I think this is probably a mod that would do better with a map that's maybe not a giant lake. Because it's been kind of hard to construct a coherent colony for me. That might be the second time I play it, I might do better. Power has been a challenge, as we've seen. And not building the trees too high. I think probably my thought, if and when I play this again, probably when rather than if, is don't build things too tall to allow for the fact that you want the tops, because the tops give you the roof bonuses. And particularly for like your industrial stuff, you want to be able to put the large windmills on the top to get your power generation. Given that we don't have a way of having perpetual power during droughts, unless we're doing something with the deep mechanical pumps, which I think this is the first time in a while I've not used these at all. So yeah, I think probably more, yeah, at least having your industrial stuff more closely linked together so that you can put the tops on them and have more power generation. But it's been a fun, interesting mod. Learning about what you need to grow and that kind of thing. Growing enough of the right kinds of trees. That was a big challenge getting going. But we have had much fun. If you've enjoyed this series, let me know. There is a poll running for which faction I'm going to use for the new series, which will be starting on the Frost or Timberpunk 2 map, which is kind of styled on Frostpunk. If you want to have a little look at that, you could go see what I've forgotten his name, Shadowblight, I think it is. If I've got your name wrong, I apologize. But yeah, there's a couple of people running series on there because it's a very cool map. I've played on there once off camera, but it's a puzzle map. And I'm going to be pretty harsh with people commenting on it, because even though I've played it and people might have watched others playing on it, I'm going to be pretty harsh with people spoiling puzzles. But that's for that series. I've enjoyed this one. Hope you have too. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. I will see you all next time.